Sara Bluma spoke again, and her words fell like a warning over her relationship with Yaman. In a recent interview for an Italian magazine, she confessed that even though she is with him, she sometimes feels that his heart is not completely present. According to her, there is a past that is hard to erase, a shadow that still follows Khan, the memory of Demet Özdemir. The story between Khan and Demet was one of the most loved and discussed by the public. Even though it ended years ago, it remains alive in many people's minds. And what Sara said reignited everything. She revealed that there are gestures, looks, or even songs that awaken something in him that she cannot control. She said, "I am with him, but sometimes I feel that shadow between us." Social media exploded. Some supported Sara, saying her honesty shows real pain. Others questioned why Demet's name keeps returning. Khan finally responded. Leaving an event in Italy, he said, "The past should not dictate our present. I respect the person who is in my life now." His tone was firm, but when he mentioned the past, many saw a trace of nostalgia in his eyes. Shortly after, Sara posted a black and white photo with the phrase, "Some silences scream louder than any word." Comments flooded in. She is suffering. He has not closed that wound. According to close sources, there were arguments after Sara saw an old photo on Khan's phone. Since then, she has felt she is competing with a memory, something impossible to win against. Meanwhile, Demet continues her career and avoids statements. Her silence only adds to the uncertainty. The question now is unavoidable. Is Khan truly ready to live in the present, or is he still trapped in what he left behind? One thing is clear. This story is far from over. Demet Özdemir, to me, is someone who learned to stand on her own amid constant noise. The public image of a strong, bright woman hides pressure, silence, and difficult choices. People debate whether she loved enough, whether she was loyal, whether she simply survived. When a woman remains standing while the world watches, not everyone applauds. I see in Demet an emotional discipline built over time, perhaps through pain. Many judge her according to outdated roles. A woman must stay. If she loved, she wouldn't leave. But love is not the same for everyone. The ghost of Khan always returns, as if the public refuses to let that story end. I don't know if the wound is still open, but I know both became symbols, and symbols are not allowed to fail. What touches me most is how others try to define her. Some accuse, others defend, others reduce her to a product of the industry. But Demet is more complex. She has tried to rebuild herself many times, inside and out. Every silence carries a wound she has learned to live with. For many, Demet represents both the fear of losing love and the courage to continue anyway. Maybe that's why she divides. She forces people to look inward. I believe Demet has learned to live with the consequences of her choices. She does not ask for approval. She keeps working, growing, moving. And in that movement, there is dignity. When I think of her, I do not think of scandals. I think of a woman building her life while the world watches. And that is deeply human. Demet does not need to prove anything anymore. Her strength is to keep shining without asking permission. Many claim that she used the relationship for promotion. If she had truly wanted to, she could have used the peak of media attention to her advantage. She did not. She chose work and discipline. In an environment that rewards noise, that choice made her uncomfortable. When someone stands beside you without asking you to deny where you come from, that presence leaves a mark, And if people still speak of Demet today, it is not because of marketing, but because she represents a higher standard, love that does not demand betrayal of self. If one day their paths cross again, I hope it is not because of nostalgia or pressure, but because both understand that loyalty, tradition, and identity are not negotiable. And if they never cross again, it will still be clear who preserved and who destroyed. In my view, Demet defended her name without turning it into a weapon. And that is what makes her unforgettable. Some stories end, but feelings take time to die. Fans immediately linked it to Demet, deepening the mystery. Amid all this, her agency announced a press conference where Demet will thank fans for their support. Everyone is waiting for her to speak, but maybe she doesn't need to, because sometimes silence is the loudest way to tell the truth. And now the question is this the fall of Demet Özdemir or her rebirth? I still believe that, despite time passing, the story between Yaman and Demet Özdemir continues to leave a deep mark on those who watch them grow as actors and as people. But if I focus on Kane, what strikes me most is his transformation. From that passionate, spontaneous young man at the start of his career to a more reserved, almost guarded man who has learned to protect himself from a world that often judged him more for his private life than for his talent. There's no denying that his relationship with Demet marked a turning point. For many, they were the perfect couple, on and off screen, a symbol of a genuine connection that the public truly believed in. But success has a price, and for Can, that price was constant exposure, rumors, criticism, and the pressure of maintaining an idealized image. Today, I see him more solitary, more focused on his international career, and while some interpret this as coldness, to me, it's maturity. He has learned that silence sometimes protects better than 1,000 words. While Demet continues her path in Turkey, showing a unique sensitivity and undeniable talent, Can seems to have chosen a different route, more ambitious, more global, and although many fans still dream of seeing them together again, I believe Can is now seeking something deeper: stability, respect, and freedom to be himself without masks. Perhaps this is the true evolution of Yaman, leaving behind the myth of the perfect leading man and becoming at last a complete man, with his shadows, his scars, and his strength. And yet, one thing remains unchanged. Every time their names are mentioned together, the public feels that same magic once more. Not because time hasn't passed, but because, despite everything, their authentic chemistry left a mark that neither fame nor distance will ever erase.